What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching today, baby. Ooh, baby. All right, guys. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about SUBLOCADE tapering. I have never seen a video about this topic, and since this is currently basically what I'm doing, I wanted to kind of talk about it and maybe see what you guys thought about this, and also just thinking for the future. I think there are going to be a lot more people doing this, so all right, so before I begin, you need to know I'm not a doctor. Nothing on my channel is medical advice. So please, if you're struggling with addiction, please seek out your own medical doctor, guys. All right, this channel is for entertainment purposes only and for me to share my experience with you. So that being said, so you guys have seen over the past 5 years or so, I've struggled getting off of Suboxone. I've tapered up and down with my doses over the years. It's been a doozy, right? It's been very challenging to say the least. So when I finally figured out the insurance and then also talked to my doctor about adjusting my starting dose of Sublocade to better match my Suboxone dose, like lower doses, that seemed to really work out just perfectly, right? Because in the past, when Sublocade was newer, that nobody was really adjusting the starting doses. So nobody really even thought of this, I think, for like the last couple of years recently. It's barely starting to happen out there. People are starting to do this on a more frequent basis, right? So, okay, so just to kind of simplify things, another thing I wanted to say too before I get started is that in many cases this would likely not be needed. However, since you guys know I'm all about trying things off label or testing different things, out of the box thinking, my OCD brain tries to think of anything that could possibly make this transition off of buprenorphine in the future easier. Why not do it, right? That's how I look at it. Yeah, it might be too much, it might be overkill, but to me, the way that I think about it, it's like, it's not going to hurt, right? If it's not going to hurt, it's going to make it better. So that's how I'm looking at it. So the people that we have the data on that have come off Sublocade just the normal way, they've mostly just done the shots every month, and then they just at some point stopped going back in for more shots, right? And then later down the road, they would have the medication slowly taper out of their system. Since Sublocade has a 45 to 60-day half-life, this explains why it takes many, many months once you stop getting the injections for this medication to totally come out of your system, right? So, all right, so that being said, there are two different ways if you would like to taper your Sublocade, guys. There are literally no videos about this on YouTube as of right now. So tapering Sublocade. There are a million videos talking about how to taper Suboxone, people sharing their experiences tapering Suboxone. So we're going to talk about Sublocade and doing that. So since that's my experience, this is what I'm going through right now. I really wanted to document this. So you can do it two ways, guys. First of all, the easiest, most simplest way would just be to lower your dose, right? Have your doctor simply squirt out some of the medication before he puts it in you. Now, obviously, this isn't going to be a perfect, you're not going to be able to exactly measure perfectly because the shots come in 300 milligrams and 100 milligram doses, right? So yes, your doctor's going to have to eyeball it to some extent. It's going to be approximates, obviously. But how hard is it to squirt out half of a shot, right? Or approximately half of a shot to get you at 150 milligrams, right? So the first way you could do it, guys, is for your doctor just to squirt out X amount of the shot, right? That's one way to do it. And then the second way to do it is by spacing out your doses. So as you guys may or may not know, I'm now on my fifth shot, right? And every shot I have pushed out longer and longer from the last shot date. So this, in my opinion, is going to come in clutch when it comes for down the road, when this stuff finally wears out of my system, when I stop taking more shots. This is going to just be that much smoother of a landing, right? So I will document all this information for you guys in the future, but we're just going to have to wait to see how it goes for me personally. There are many people on Reddit, guys. You can go on there right now and read stories about people who have successfully come off of Sublocade and had either no withdrawals or very low withdrawals. Okay, I keep seeing this a comment on my channel about people saying, but how is it possible that you can get off a bupe without withdrawals? Don't take my word for it, guys. I haven't done it yet, right? I have had a doctor who specializes in Sublocade come on this channel and says if there is a withdrawal from SUBLOCADE, he hasn't seen it. My Matt Clinic doctor said the same exact thing. You can go on Reddit and read many people's stories, guys, that say similar things. Like some people say maybe there was a little bit of depression in there, but nobody's going through this full-blown withdrawal like we have from Suboxone, right? How many times have you heard people say there was no withdrawal from Suboxone? Almost never, right? It's almost unheard of. But to see so many different people from different angles saying these similar things, one could only guess and hope that if there are that many different people out there saying the same thing, that it must to some extent be true, right, guys? I know that our brains might want to try to find ways to disbelieve that because it does. It sounds too good to be true. But remember, guys, that this medication slowly wears out of your system over many months. So if you're in some sort of race just to have a bupe-free urine test, then yeah, this is probably not the fastest way to get off of it. However, that's honestly the last thing I really care about. At this point in my recovery, I'm not getting a trophy for having a bupe-free urine screen. No, but nobody in my family is going to come down off their out of their day and congratulate me and just make it this huge thing. It's not like that, guys. Unfortunately, for many of us, it's not going to be like that. So what I'm mostly worried about is not suffering the full-blown withdrawals that I've suffered from in the past, even tapered down to lower doses of Suboxone. Specifically speaking, the RLS, the restless legs, and the hardcore insomnia, to where even hardcore medication like Ambien cannot give me any rest. So those are the two things that I do not want to go through. I really don't want to go through those things. As far as depression, guys, I'm sure that could be to be expected to some extent over a long haul. Maybe some low energy could be in there as well. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the future, guys. You guys know that I'm going to tell you exactly how it goes for me. So it shouldn't be too far away in the future for when I go through these things. If I had to put a guess on it, I would say maybe sometime around this summer, maybe fall, when I should be going through those things. So I'm currently on my 5th shot. So to back up, sorry for going all over the place with this, guys. You guys know how I am. I'm all over the map, baby. So, all right. So you can either have your doctor lower the dose and go in every month and just keep lowering the dose as you go. Now, one thing too, I really wanted to clarify that you shouldn't be doing these things until you're past what they call steady state on this medication, right? For the first month, 2-3 months, you're trying to get to what they call a steady state. And that's basically where you're just going to feel like you're totally normal all the time, right? The first month can be bumpy for a lot of people. For most people, they're going to have some kind of struggles for the first month as they're transitioning and smoothing out on their SUBLOCADE ride. I see the same thing. Most people are worried when they're on Suboxone. They're worried they're not going to be able to get past the oral addiction. They're not going to be able to break that hand-to-mouth thing every night. And dude, guys, trust me, that was a major worry of mine too. And almost every single person that I have talked to, including myself on this channel, have all broken that addictive, that hand-to-mouth thing, guys. And we all know that that's going to come in clutch when it comes time for this medication to come out of our system, right? It's just such a huge thing that can cause so much anxiety. If we stop doing that instantly, we know that what's coming, right, guys? We know the withdrawal is going to be coming shortly after. There's so much anxiety built around letting that go. So just wanted to kind of talk about that for a minute. So, all right, very unorganized here. So yeah, you can do it that way, or you can space out the doses longer. So in my opinion, once you've reached the steady state, you no longer need to get your shots exactly every month, guys, because of the long half-life. In fact, if you go in every month continuously for your SUBLOCADE shot, what's going to happen is the blood levels, you're going to keep increasing over time, right? The blood levels are going to keep going higher simply due to the long half-life of the medication. If you go in any sooner than the 45 to 60-day half-life, you're going to be increasing your blood levels over time, right? So I don't want to do that, especially if I'm feeling good and things are going well. That's the last thing I want to do, is have my bupe levels go higher, make my sex drive worse, make my testosterone levels worse, make my constipation worse, and any other possible side effects I have get worse, right? I don't want that to happen. So what happens to counteract that is you could find out what works for you. But for me, the first time I tapered my dose with time was I went 5 weeks between shots. Okay. Next time I went 6 weeks between shots. And then the last time I got a shot, it was 8 weeks. So 2 full months between shots, guys. I had absolutely zero issues. No issues, like nothing. I've never had any kind of withdrawal effect since being on Sublocade the entire time, guys. Not even in the first month. Okay. So as I'm on this current shot, I lowered my dose again. I lowered it down to 75 milligrams for this 5th shot, and I went 2 full months between doses. So as of this video, probably the plan is going to be just push myself out to maybe 10 weeks, possibly even 3 full months, and then take maybe another 75 milligrams. I don't know. I'll see what happens when the time comes, how I'm feeling. If I'm still feeling totally fine, then I'll probably go 3 full months and then take one last shot and then see what happens in the future. So it's going to be different how I'm doing this off-label. This is all off-label. Not every doctor is going to be willing to do these things that I'm saying. And if that's the situation you're in, then that's the situation you're in. Just go with whatever you got to go with, guys. But those are basically the 2 ways to taper your Sublocade. If there's something else I'm not thinking of, guys, please put it in the comments. But I'm kind of doing both, as you guys see. I'm lowering my dose and I'm pushing out the dates further and further each time. So in my personal opinion, that is going to help big time when it comes months down the road, when my body's just kind of letting this stuff go. It's going to help the landing be that much smoother, right? Because my deep levels haven't continued to increase. They've kind of went where they were and then they've stayed there, and then they're going to slowly come down in the future, something like that. It's way too hard for me to visually show you with my hands. You would need some kind of charts to show you like a better example of this, but you guys understand what I'm trying to say. If you have any questions about this, I'm excited to see the future of this, because I know that Sublocade is going to be the future of MAT treatment. That's guaranteed, guys. It's going to take some time for that to happen. I'll make more videos talking specifically about why I believe this. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Please do not forget to subscribe and like this channel. Hit that notification bell if you want to get on for our live streams, mostly Wednesdays, and sometimes we do Sunday live streams as well. So see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.